So the crazy part about this video is that I kind of made up this analogy literally out of nowhere, and for some reason it actually fits very, very well, like stupidly well. So I'm actually sharing it with you guys. You're welcome. What's up, guys? Welcome to another video on the channel. Today's video is pretty much about, the basketball analogy that I made up on stream. I really feel it's a good analogy, and I want to share it with you guys so that, maybe you could apply it to your account at RTA, and you can understand like what to pick and things like that. And once you understand like what to pick, you'll be good. You will do a lot better at RTA. So before I get into this video, if you please, I would love it if you guys could just subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Very low ball, nothing too high, but it'll motivate me to keep on doing more Summoners War content, or just more content on this channel in general. So if you guys do like the video, go ahead and give it a like, and also you can subscribe to the channel to get more future videos from me. So let's get into it. So basically, the first thing about RTA that people pretty much want to understand is like what to pick. I get a lot of questions on, Jug, what do I pick in RTA? I don't know what to pick. I'm very confused. I have all these monsters, but I don't know how to put them together and make a team for RTA. Well, that's kind of a hard question to understand because, again, it depends on your runes and how you want to play in general. So the best analogy I came up was the Big Three analogy. For people that don't know the Big Three analogy, the Big Three analogy in NBA is basically three big names that come together to create this very unstoppable force in a team, and basically everybody considers them really strong and have a good chance of winning a championship. The Big Three that a lot of people could probably know is basically the one that started it all, which is pretty much the one in Boston with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. When those three came together, a lot of people said, oh man, Boston, they about to win a championship. Nobody's gonna stop this team. I mean, they did win the championship, only one, but that's kind of what happened. It started a trend in basketball. So basically, because of those three, it next came with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. And then it started this whole thing in basketball media where they basically came up with Big Three, and people coming together to form this really solid squad that nobody can stop. This applies really well in Summoners War, and I'm going to show you how. So, in Summoners War, you want to have your Big Three, right? And let's use my account as an example. In my account, my Big Three is Hawthorne, Vanessa, and Fran. Well, Jug, why is your Big Three Hawthorne, Vanessa, and Fran? Well, Hawthorne is one of my best rune monsters. Well, all three are my best rune monsters, and they pretty much apply to every scenario. Hawthorne is a really good first pick in current RTA meta if you can support her, and Vanessa and Fran are also really good picks. But the thing is, you can't just have the Big Three and they just do whatever and just run rampage in RTA. That's not how it works. You have to fill out the bench. The bench are people that help support the Big Three, and help them be good. Whether it's with like, again, this is more towards basketball, but it's more like floor spacing or the defensive side or, whatever. So in RTA, you want to help get the monsters that can help support your Big Three and help them continue to be strong because they're strong picks in general. So if I first pick Hawthorne and I don't have a bench, I lose. You guys know basketball, if you had Kobe and Kobe basically went out there, Kobe cannot win you the game by himself. I mean, he kind of can sometimes, but he can't ideally do it all himself. He needs people that can support and help him out. So in RTA, when you have Hawthorne, you want to get picks that can support and help her out. Those picks for me are picks like Savannah, Celia, Diana, Praha. These picks are really good because they help make Hawthorne's job a lot easier. They provide the strips, they can provide so much to help Hawthorne just be good, because Hawthorne's gonna pretty much carry you to the finish line because she's such a powerful pick in RTA. So see that as well. Like when you have a pick in RTA, you gotta make sure that whatever you do, you help the Kobe of your team just be very successful. Also, like, one thing I always say on stream especially is that the one thing people need to learn to get better at RTA is pick and ban. A lot of people aren't successful in RTA because of pick and ban. Pick and ban can literally carry you to C1. And I say this pretty often and people think I'm joking, but you can literally get C1 if you pick and ban better than your opponent. That's what holds a lot of people back from getting C1. They think it's also like, oh, it's the LDs or their monsters are so much better or stuff like that. That doesn't apply to every match. Most matches are people that are pretty much on your level. So if you pick better than people that are on your level, then you have a good chance at winning. C1 is very easy to achieve as long as you have good runes and you pick and ban better than your opponent. That comes with filling out your box, making sure you have these monsters that are really good in the current meta. These 2As, a lot of people are really not 2Aing some of these monsters. I go to a lot of accounts, they don't have a Lucia 2A, they don't have Vigor 2A, they don't have Mina 2A, they don't have so much of these great 2As that are just really good in the current meta. Have them in your box. You'd be surprised how good Khan, Ashir, like these monsters can really help you if you draft. Bella, people sleep on Bella. People really say like, oh, why use Bella in RTA? I know many people that have used Bella in RTA with great success. And if you use it correctly, then you will be successful. So I think a lot of people just need to look into like what their team may need and understand where to go. Like there's people that try to use Bastet to draft. Have you tried out Ashir? Ashir has way better base speed, and even with like a crappier Swift set, he'll be way faster than your Bastet. So if you can actually set it up correctly, you'd be surprised what people can do with your account as long as you use that head of yours. I believe in you guys. If you guys use your head and think outside the box, you actually be very successful in RTA. I know a guy, Ichi, shout out to Ichi, he literally got the C1 just spamming Verd and Lauren. I said Verd and Lauren. Leo and Verd, excuse me. He's been spamming Leo and Verd all the way to C1. You just gotta think outside the box sometimes. Maybe you don't have a crazy box, but if you just think better than your opponent and draft better than your opponent and just outpick him, you're good. A lot of people don't understand that Leo and Verd together are really freaking good. So he's taking advantage of that, and they got him to C1. He understands that it's gonna get him to C1, but to get higher, he has to, pick a little bit better. But for a lot of people, just outpick your opponent. And if your opponent doesn't know how good some combinations are, then you're pretty good. You're in the clear. So it just takes you to be a little bit creative and understand what to pick and what not to pick, and understanding what to ban that may screw over your team. Pick and ban is very important, and if you're not successful in RTA and you're currently like C1 or below, it's probably a combination of just two things: runes, pick and ban, or your pick and ban is really bad, or you're trying to force these picks just because they're really good. There's so many people that try to force Ganny and Hawthorne because they hear it's so good, but they don't understand like, well, if I don't have the picks that help Ganny and Hawthorne work, then they're just dead picks. And people don't understand that. People don't understand the counters to it. Like there's a lot to understand with RTA. And once you understand what's good and what's bad, trust me, you will be very successful and you'll be really good. Again, understand the Kobe, the Shaquille O'Neal, the Derek Fisher. A lot of people know this. The Kobe, Shaquille, Derek Fisher. Get those three and fill out the bench with people that can help out those three. You're Gucci. You won't win. But if you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed this help, again, go ahead and drop a subscription. Like I said, I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And peace out. Have a good one, guys. Later.